if I say that we have a universe and nobody has any knowledge about the edge of this universe, and there are certain laws, and based on these laws, things are happening all around this universe. And there are entities that can be observed in the universe, and there are entities that cannot be observed in the universe. But there are things going on, things are happening. There is formation of new stars, there is formation of galaxies. The things are going on in all domains of this universe. And the story is same when we talk about the planet Earth. And we are one of the entities that live on this planet, in addition to all other entities that are here. So, if things are happening in the domains of the universe, and we have been trying to track down the laws, the conditions, the physicalities, the dynamics that's involved in all such things that are happening. We make use of mathematical tools, we make use of telescopes, and we all the time try to endorse the things that there are reasons, and these reasons are working out. And obviously, all of these reasons have a very, very strong connection between them. Everything is connected. The stars, the galaxies, there always has a state of direct or indirect interaction between the visible and invisible matter. So we can say in that domain, we can say in that direction, that whatever is happening out there, it's happening by virtue of certain things, by virtue of certain processes. For example, if I talk about the formation of a star, so what is the most acceptable theory about the formation of stars? That you have dust, you have hydrogen gas, and there are some favorable circumstances that engage the gravitational collapse of these hydrogen atoms, and that leads to the formation of stars. So one thing is clear here, that the things are going on and nobody has any control on these things. And we call such phenomenon as natural kind of things. This is natural. A star is formed naturally. A plant is grown naturally. The animals that we have on this planet, the humans, there is a very strong correlation between them. We are made of atoms. The atoms I am made of, a different species is made of the same atoms. We are facing the same environment. And we call all of these things are happening in a very, very intelligent way. It's happening in a very, very sophisticated way. And the conditions that are there provided by the nature, it almost becomes very difficult for humans to produce the same kind of things in the laboratory, to make such kind of bonds between the atoms so that they could develop an entity like what's out there. Now, the thing that I'm trying to describe here is that whatever is out there assigned to the human beings, and we all understand that humans have have gone to a very, very great extent in terms of inventing things from from wheels to satellites, from rockets to having missions to move on the planets and the moons of the solar system. So there are things that are that appear to us that it has been developed by the humans, and obviously humans take credit of such things. The one who has developed computer gets the credit of it. The one who has written a beautiful book gets the credit of it. A person who has designed a beautiful house. So all of these things, they seem to be the part that humans have done. Obviously, the note of involvement in all such activities are the human beings. But the point is it the same thing that the humans have done? Are humans responsible for such things? Are humans doing all the things that are happening on this planet? Is it all happening because of the human beings? Because they are thinking in that direction? Or there is some other state of mind involved in it? So if I have to differentiate the two, the things that are out there, the mountains, the moon, planets, grass, blue sky, trees, animals, birds, they are all natural entities. And anything that is being designed, that's being created, manipulated by the humans, that falls in the category of artificial. So there is a computer. It is an artificially produced thing. It's not the result of the creator out there in the universe. That fundamental entity. There is some fundamental entity which is excluding all such things. My point here is that if we see very closely, we are exactly doing the same thing what hydrogen atoms are performing inside a star. We are exactly doing the same thing what the molecules of a plant are doing when there is photosynthesis. When light falls on the plants and some reaction goes on there, a quantum mechanical thing happens, and there is a result. There is a result of oxygen. There is a result of water. All the things that are there have remained great philosophers, great people who have done great work for societies, always with an intention to know more things and use those things for the betterment of the societies. But the point is that is it actually happening because of the humans that are involved there? Is it my creation? Is it the creation of a person who has designed a computer and we are using it, operating it, getting a result out of it? Or this whole thing that's out there, whatever has been produced, whatever has been generated by human race on this planet, from the wheel to the aeroplanes, all of these things are happened the way other things happen in the nature. I strongly feel that the things that happen there, whatever is called artificial, whatever is assigned to the human beings, no doubt when you immediately think about it, Something is done by acts, it's done by acts. But acts is an identity that's being executed by the universe, that's being executed by the particles that are interacting with acts. There are particles that are coming from outside in our body, and there are particles that are generating in our bodies. We don't have a control on our bodies. The things are happening the way they are supposed to happen. And the technology that is out there, I don't find any reason to, for the sake of classification, it's a beautiful thing. It's out there, it's because of humans. Humans have beautiful brains, they design, they decorate it, and they have traveled very, very long distances and achieved very great milestones in the field of medical science, technology, and all other parameters that are out there, where appreciation is there for those people. Certainly, they have been chosen for that. They have been drifted for that. But that is not actually what we feel. We propose as if it's being done. It's being done in a way that only this person could do it. If there is some kind of discovery, some kind of invention, somebody has designed something, he was destined to design that. The universe has done its job. No doubt there is a very, very fundamental reality that's doing all this. But to believe, to have faith in it, that we have created something, it does not fit to what really is out there. The things that are there being produced by human race, they are the result of all the interactions, all the forces that are involved in persuading this person to achieve that state of invention. Say, for example, let's call it invention. Somebody has designed something, and we will say that Mr. X has developed it, and he's done the job, and it has these kinds of facilitations. We can use this device. It has this number of good things involved in it, and it has this number of bad things involved in it. But the point is that assigning, is it absolutely happened because of that entity, or that entity is merely a speculation? It's merely an action. It's merely a kind of thing that can be identified by other humans. Mr. X is identifiable. We can put him, we can write his name, we can understand this person is out there doing this job. But is it this person who is persuading for this job? Or there is something else involved in it? And obviously it is impossible that we can have a system where I can have an ideal situation where I can put a man in a situation where there is no involvement of the environment on him. It is impossible for a man to be a man without whatever is there surrounding this man. This man is not because of something that he is expounding about. If we talk about the robbers, there are robbers out there, okay? They are programmed, they can move from one point to another point. Now this robot, who has designed it? Who's doing the job actually? If I have to see the immediate, if I had to connect it immediately with something, then the best thing is that I have to connect it with the environment that's surrounding it. It is the environment within this person and outside this person that's making things happen. And if we will see all the humans out there being in a studio, we will find as if there are some random actions happening. The things are happening in a very random way. There's a theorem in mathematics which we call as infinite monkey theorem. And this theorem states that if I have a monkey and this monkey has a computer in front of him having a keyboard with English alphabets on it, and this monkey hits the keys of this keyboard for very, very long period of time. Okay, in 1,000 years of time, nothing right may come on the screen. But if this limit of time is increased very, very large, the monkey may write down all the volumes of Shakespeare. The monkey may write down some beautiful poetry. The monkey may write the whole history of mankind. The monkey may write anything that's out there. And so to us, it's randomly happening. The things are happening in a very random fashion. But this randomness appears to have some reasonable actions involved in it. And these reasonable actions that are involved in these random processes, they lead to the formation of, they lead to the creation of things around. So randomness is the originality of that action. To us, it's a randomness. We realize it's randomness. If I will see all the humans on this planet sitting in a room, I will find randomness. There will be people who will be doing great jobs in the laboratories. There will be people who will be designing new mobile phones. There will be people who will be preparing beautiful food. But when I will see the motions involved in all the human beings are there, I will find it random. A kind of randomness will observe here. So there are always things that we have no control on. And we certainly are governed a very large percentage. If I have to say, a very large percentage of us is governed by the circumstances, the environment, the surroundings, the intrinsic organs, the molecules, the atoms that we are made of, the kind of food that we eat, the air we breathe. So these things execute all actions on us. And certainly there is one fundamental reality to all this. And that fundamental reality is what we call God, what we call Allah. And what others have different names for that fundamental reality. And it's that fundamental reality that's actually doing the job. We are just the toys, the output toys that are executing things from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. And we feel at times it's we who are doing it. But if I think in a very, very abstract sense, I am made up of atoms, so there are molecules, there's DNA, there are cells, there are organs, there are tissues. So all of these things are there, and I have no control on them. I cannot dictate any of the molecule that I have, any of the cells that I have anywhere, to move from one point to another point. I can't do that. I'm not authorized to do that. So, what is the conclusion here in this talk? The conclusion is that in an actual sense, There's nothing artificial going on anyway. It's all happening by the will of that fundamental reality. Now, that fundamental reality can be X for one group of people, it can be Y for another group of people, it can be Z for another kind of pupil. But this fundamental reality is very, very powerful, and executing all of its job, executing all of its things that are out there on which we have no control on. So, I should not be feeling any state of pride if there is something happening through me in a way that I have done it. No, I have not done it. I have been used to do it. So that's why we all should pray that by virtue of that fundamental reality, this fundamental reality should put us on the right track. The track that's loved by the pupil, the track that's loved by our families, the track that's good for everybody, irrespective of your caste, irrespective of your religion, irrespective of your color. No, these things do not have actual importance in real sense. They are there to create the resistive force. They are there to create a kind of reaction, the reaction that goes on between the atoms and molecules. When atoms interact, then they form something. Similarly, when humans have interaction, they certainly will come up with new things. Obviously, two things will come out of it. If you are getting something good in one direction, the result of that good will be bad in some another direction. So it's very difficult for us to say, come on, this is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do for one side of the story. The right thing to do that we are doing for one side of the story may be wrong for the other side.